Imagine the stadium lights slowly dimming, thousands of light sticks transforming into a sea of purple, pulsating like a giant heart. And in that exact moment, two figures at center stage glanced at each other with an inexplicable smile. It wasn't just choreography. It wasn't just professionalism. There was something alive, spontaneous, and too real to ignore. This second night of BTS's concert in El Paso wasn't just about the music. It was about the moment that made millions stop breathing, stare at the screen, and wonder, what the hell is going on between them? From the very beginning of the show, the energy felt different. It was as if a little secret was being brought onto the stage, hidden behind the laughter and seemingly ordinary movements. Jungkook, with his confident aura, was seen several times approaching Jimin more than the choreography required. Not excessively, but enough to make anyone watching feel like something was intentionally left out for them to see. Jimin, on the other hand, responded in a way that heightened the atmosphere. His smile, half shy, half challenging, appeared at unexpected moments. He didn't pull away. He didn't fully reciprocate. But that's precisely where the appeal lies. Their reactions feel genuine, not contrived, and that's what keeps fans talking. During one of the song's more relaxed segments, their interaction becomes even more pronounced. Jungkook appears to be deliberately prolonging eye contact, while Jimin chuckles and looks away, as if trying to avoid something too intense to show in front of thousands of people. But the camera captures everything, and within minutes, the moment has gone viral worldwide. Fancam after fancam emerges, each offering a different perspective on the same interaction. Some slow down the video, others analyze their hand movements, and even try to read the micro-expressions on their faces. Every tiny detail becomes the subject of a huge discussion, proving just how powerful the moment's appeal is. But what makes it even more captivating is how natural the moment feels. It doesn't feel forced or staged. Its simplicity is precisely what makes it so powerful. A glance, a brief smile, or a light touch can have a far greater impact than a grandiose stage act. Behind the scenes, the rehearsal atmosphere is surprisingly warm. The members can be seen joking around, sharing energy, and keeping each other's spirits up. Jungkook and Jimin, in particular, were often seen interacting in a relaxed and intimate manner, as if their relationship went beyond mere colleagues. This emotional connection was palpable when they returned to the stage. Every movement seemed synchronized, every expression complementing each other. This wasn't just the result of intense practice, but also a reflection of a relationship that had been built over years. Fans began to connect these moments to a larger narrative. Was this just fan service? Or was there something deeper? These questions continued to arise, fueling discussions and making each performance feel like a puzzle waiting to be solved. On social media, hashtags related to these moments immediately trended. Thousands of comments poured in, ranging from emotional to in-depth analysis. Some were touched, some entertained, and still others were increasingly curious about the dynamics of their relationship. But amidst it all, one thing was certain. These moments successfully created a powerful connection between BTS and their fans. A simple interaction on stage could trigger such a powerful wave of emotion, demonstrating the depth of the connection they have built with ARMY. Furthermore, this concert also demonstrated BTS's consistent performance. Each song was delivered with full energy, with meticulous attention to detail. Even during spontaneous moments, their professionalism remained intact. The album Arirang, part of this tour, also continued to achieve remarkable success. Global streaming increased rapidly, and its songs dominated various international charts. This demonstrated BTS's strength not only on stage, but also in the music industry as a whole. HYBE, their agency, also felt the positive impact of this success. Their latest financial report showed significant growth, driven by BTS's growing popularity. This demonstrates that their influence extends beyond music to encompass global business and cultural aspects. But returning to that night in El Paso, what's most memorable aren't the numbers or statistics, but the small moments that feel so personal. Like when Jungkook burst out laughing after seeing Jimin's reaction, or when Jimin looked back with an expression that's hard to explain. These moments create a vivid narrative, one that continues to evolve with each rewatch. Each viewer may have a different interpretation, and that's what makes it all the more compelling. Over time, this concert will be remembered as one of the most iconic, not just for its scale or production, but for the emotion it managed to convey through seemingly simple interactions. And perhaps that's the true power of BTS. They don't just perform, they create an experience that makes fans feel connected, understood, and part of something bigger. When the lights finally dim and the concert ends, one thing remains, an unanswered question. What did all those stares mean? Was it just a coincidence? Or is there a story yet to be told? Whatever the answer, one thing is certain. That night in El Paso, Jungkook and Jimin managed to create a moment that will live long in fans' memories. A simple, yet meaningful moment. And perhaps that's precisely where the magic lies. As the excitement of the concert continued to subside, many fans began rewatching the footage, trying to catch details they'd previously missed. Strangely, each time the video played, something new seemed different. A small movement, a change in expression, or even a brief pause that now seemed to have a deeper meaning than it first appeared. In one particularly hotly discussed clip, Jungkook seemed to deliberately slow down his steps just to catch up with Jimin. There was no choreography calling for it, but he did it anyway, as if by a spontaneous impulse he couldn't resist. The moment happened so quickly, yet enough to raise eyebrows. Jimin, usually known for his commanding presence on stage, showed a more open side that night. He briefly lost focus several times, laughed longer than usual, and even appeared a little nervous for a few moments. For some, this small change was proof that the atmosphere of that night was indeed different from other concerts. Many also began to connect this moment to their long journey as band members. The years spent together, the relentless practice, and the various experiences they've gone through seem to have created a bond that's hard to describe in words. And perhaps, what's visible on stage is only a small part of that connection. Interestingly, these interactions didn't disrupt the flow of the concert at all. On the contrary, they added a layer of emotion that made the performance feel more alive. The audience wasn't just enjoying the music, but also experiencing the dynamics of the relationships developing in real time before their eyes. Some fans even called the night the most honest concert ever. Not because of the technical perfection, but because of the moments that felt unplanned. The small imperfections were actually the main attraction, bringing out the humanity of idols who often seem perfect. On the other hand, others tried to see it from a professional perspective. They argued that these kinds of interactions could be part of BTS's way of maintaining a close relationship with their fans. But even if that were true, the execution still felt very natural, far from contrived. The more people discussed it, the clearer it became that this moment had gone beyond mere entertainment. It became a phenomenon that combined emotion, interpretation, and community engagement on a global scale. Everyone had their own perspective, and all felt valid within the context of their experiences. Ultimately, perhaps not everything needs to be explained logically. Some moments are meant to be felt, not analyzed. And that night in El Paso, what happened between Jungkook and Jimin may have been one of those moments, brief, simple, yet powerful enough to leave an unforgettable mark.